Mission East Lancers and the Pembroke Hill Raiders. Andrew, tell us about your experience growing up here in Kansas City, playing lacrosse at Rockhurst, and your experience here in this league.
Yeah, so I started playing in 2006. The youth leagues here, back in my 6th grade year was the first year I was ever able to play lacrosse in Kansas City. And the game, I think we had 5 or 6 different teams. There was Pembroke, St. Paul's, Brookside, Prairie Village, and that was about it. And then from then going into high school, Rockhurst and Pembroke were really the only teams that had programs. Starting in my 6th or 7th grade years, programs like Northland, programs like Shawnee Mission East started to pop up, and the game has really expanded from the 3 or 4 teams, the core 3 or 4 teams, 2 of which we see here tonight, and the other one is my alma mater. But seeing teams like Blue Valley, who's the 3rd-year program, is really great for the growth of the game in the city. Teams like Olathe, who won the championship 2 years ago. Back when I was in high school, you could have one really good player and a bunch of scrubs and make it to final weekend. And now we finally have teams that are complete teams that have a goalie, that have close defenders, midfielder, attackmen, and depth. And you need all of that to make the championship weekend. So it's really exciting to see the growth of the game in the past few years.
Yeah, 14 teams strong now. Andrew, you play goalie, right?
Yep.
Hey, we have 2 really good goalies here, both sharing first-team All-Metro honors. Tell us a little bit about Andrew Williams and or William Andrews and Robbie Veglin.
All right, so William Andrews first for Pembroke. He's a bigger goalie, takes up a lot of the net, had a great complete game against Rockhurst. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but it seemed like he had made every save that he was needed to make. Pembroke defense did a very good job keeping Rockhurst to the perimeter, which allowed Andrews to see the ball very, very well. It's going to be important for Pembroke to do the same thing against East today. They have a lot of very good finishers on the inside. Robbie Veglin, a little smaller goalie, much better communicator. Not to say that Andrews isn't, but very good communicator, much more aggressive defense, makes a lot of very good in-close saves. It's just going to be important to make sure he gets down to the low balls, which he struggled a little bit early against Blue Valley.
Yeah, they're going to be going against a few really good offensive players I got noted here. Griffin Freeze from Shawnee Mission East and a midfielder, Milton Branch. What do you know about those guys? What do you think about their game?
So Griffin was the All-American this year, him and Brady Guck from Rockhurst. Griffin is a very good facilitator, very good inside, good dodger from X. And then Milton Branch is just an absolute beast. Colgate commit for football. He's a senior leader, dodging out of the midfield. Very hard to stop him going down the alley.
Yeah, we had the semifinals on Thursday, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching Brash. Sounds just like his last name. He's just running through people, getting
Absolutely.
to the goal. No one can really match his physicality.
Exactly.
On the offensive side for the Pembroke Hill Raiders, a few of the guys that I noted down that stood out to me were Daniel Stark and Jack Staker. Tell me what you know about those guys.
Staker, very like Griffin Freeze, very good at X, dodges very well. One player I'd like to note from Pembroke is Jack Ramza. Big fan of his game. I've coached him in the past. He's a complete player. Can do it on the inside, can dodge, can feed. Just overall, very, very good.
Yeah, his name did come up a few times on Thursday.
I think he's highly underrated.
Yeah. Also, on the defensive side, you got the All-American Quinn Brandmeier, who'll probably be matching up either on Freeze one at a time, or you might see him switch up to Brash on the midfield because it seems like he might be able to match physicality.
Yeah.
That was one of the adjustments we saw in the second half of the semifinal game, where they switched Nathan Barwin and Quinn Brandmeier between the 2 All-Metro players that Rockhurst had, and that really seemed to help them out in the second half of that game.
Right.
What do you see when you watch Brandmeier play a little bit?
So Pembroke overall defensively needs to make sure they stay physical. They have Brandmeier, but the other 2 poles are a little, not suspect, but they're a little weak, so they need to make sure they're playing good team defense, good help defense. And obviously Brandmeier covering Freeze tonight in all likelihood is going to be a huge matchup to watch.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's going to be a great game tonight. Stay tuned. Just a little quick update from the college game. You had Yale that beat Loyola 8-5, and Albany beat Denver 15-13. So on Monday, we're going to have a great game between Yale and Albany. We got about 4 minutes till the start of game time here, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with the starting lineups. Andrew, great job. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right? We'll be right back with y'all. Oh, we're going to get this game off. It's going to get a little wet today. Dan Rogenhofer back here with Jack Mahoney. Pleasure to have you back. Did a great job commentating our second semifinal game last Thursday. Jack, welcome back. How was reffing that Youth All-Star game?
It was really awesome. My little brother was in it, so it's cool seeing him play and seeing like all the new talent coming up. It's really nice seeing the game continue to grow. And there's a pretty good representation from all over the city. Brookside, I even saw a Lawrence guy there, so it's really nice to see the growth of the game.
Yeah, definitely seeing a lot of kids coming in great numbers, not just from your dominant Shawnee Mission East or Rockhurst programs, but a lot of Blue Valley. You said that program's been growing a lot, coming along. Definitely a few Lee Summit kids, and I saw some Northland kids as well. So definitely all over the greater metropolitan area. A little bit of history of these two teams in the finals. Shawnee Mission East has won this championship 3 times. The first time we had the first LAKC championship game
against Pembroke.
It was against Pembroke. Shawnee Mission East won. Pembroke's still looking for that first championship.
Yeah, I think the key to Pembroke winning this game is going to be Jack Ramza, Jack Staker. The two Jacks, I think they each had at least 4 or 5 goals against East the first time they played. So I think it's going to come down to those two. But the matchup I'm really looking forward to is Griffin Freeze against Quinn Brandmeier. We already kind of touched on it, but Quinn Brandmeier is one of the most physical deep holes in the league, and he has really good ball skills. I wouldn't be surprised if he went up and scored tonight. He has that kind of stick skills, so that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, hey, I definitely believe we're going to get this game off tonight. I think it is going to get a little wet, so pocket's going to sag a little bit, could get a little sloppy with the stick skills. So these goalies are really going to be huge. These defenders are really going to be huge. You got 2 deep holes playing close D on both teams that have all Metro honors. So it's going to be interesting which one of those players match up which one of the offensive playmakers the other team has. And if a game does get a little sloppy, a little rainy, definitely would be seeing a lower scoring game. So I'm going to be looking at our goalies and our defenders a lot here.
Yeah, I know Dan left, the assistant coach of Shawnee Mission East, coaches also a travel team called Top Gun, and Jack Staker is actually on that team. So he knows Jack Staker extremely well, so I think he'll be throwing a couple different deep holes at him. Joseph Moore I see going at him. He's a big guy, number 34. He's a really strong player, but I think he's a really hard guy to stop. I can speak from personal experience. He's one of the hardest guys to guard in the league for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, as you said before, with these select teams, a lot of these guys have played with each other, have coached for each other, and now are coaching against each other, playing against each other. Earlier, before this game, during the pregame warm-up, saw a little bit of a standoff between Shawnee Mission East and Pembroke Hill. Seemed a little bit more kind of like stomp the yard or something. Just a lot of jawing at each other, hooping and hollering. So it's going to be a really fun game with a lot of emotions to watch. I'm looking a lot forward to it. So.
With a tight-knit community like the lacrosse community is, all these guys have been playing against each other since they were elementary school, all the way going up. So it's kind of just fun, but there's a healthy level of competition for sure. So it's going to be a good game tonight.
Well, it looks like we're about ready to start our announcements. Starting lineups are up next. Jack Mahoney, Daniel Rogenhofer. We'll be right back.
Number 2 seeded Lancers.
The wait is finally coming to an end. We are about to start our game here against the Shawnee Mission East Lancers and the Pembroke Hill Raiders. We're about to start announcing the starting lineups here soon as we get the image up here.
Junior at midfield, number 12, Hank Breckenridge. Senior at attack, number 22, Matthew McGannon.
Just like our semifinal games Thursday night, this game will be coming from University of Missouri, Kansas City's Durwood Stadium. Pembroke went ahead and beat Rockhurst last Thursday, and the Shawnee Mission East High School beat a very talented and upcoming Blue Valley program. And I mean, one thing we noticed from our youth all-star game is that here we go with our lineups. For the Lancers at attack, we got Charles Borger, Griffin Freeze, Matt McGannon. At the midfield, we'll have Will Benjamin, Milton Brosh, the Colgate football commit, Cameron Ream. At defense, Zayden Martin, Joseph Moore, Cooper Walton, and first-team All-Metro goalie, Robbie Veglin. Now the Pembroke Hill Raiders. Starting at attack, Peter Burdett, Henry Hogan, Jack Stacker. In midfield, Will Carolyn, Cap McClinley, Finney Sachs. Holding it down on defense will be Nathan Barwin, Quinn Brandmeyer, and we do have a little bit of a correction. Starting for the third close defense position will be Tade Benson instead of Patrick Cummer. And in goal will be William Andrews, who also shared the first team All-Metro honors with the Shawnee Mission East Lancers goalie.
What a night for lacrosse.
Yeah, it looks like we do have breakage in the clouds. I highly doubt we'll get any rain at this point. I think most of it's going to go south of us. And I think we're going to have a great night of lacrosse. Not super hot. Nice little cool breeze here in the middle of May, or towards the end of May.
I think the biggest key in this game is going to be senior leadership. For both teams, you have a senior goalie and a strong senior midfielder. That's Will Andrews and Jack Ramza for Pembroke Hill. And then for East, it's going to be Robbie Veglin and Milton Brosh. I talked to Shawnee Mission East coach before the game, and he talked about how important it was for them to build a winning culture, and that all came from a select group of seniors led by that goalie, Robbie, and their midi, Milton Brosh. So I think that both these teams share in common is just this group of senior leaders that have kind of led these teams to this point, and I think that's why they're both here tonight.
Well, hey, I'm going to be looking a lot about role players, second line midfielders, and the reason being is the stars that get the most help today are going to be the stars that play their best, with this being a team game. We mentioned Pembroke Hill, a lot of their starters are not seniors, so I imagine a lot of those seniors will be coming in for substitute playing time, and it's going to be on them to help transition this ball, put in a lot of effort, especially against Shawnee Mission East 10-man ride, which gave Blue Valley fits on Thursday.
You see from both teams prolific attackmen who are wonderful at feeding the ball. Griffin Freeze and Jack Staker. It's not just about scoring for them. It's about feeding the ball to their teammates. So I totally see where that's coming in with those secondary role players coming down and getting passes from those two. And I don't think that either of them had their best game last week. I think a lot of them have a lot of proof tonight. Just kind of the two first-team All-Metro guys. I know Jack Staker was third for attackman All-American, so that's kind of got to be eating at him a little bit too. So I'm just looking forward to those two matchups as well.
Well, hey, regardless of the winner or loser of this game, for all the seniors, it's going to be their last high school lacrosse game. Some of these guys are going to be going to play college ball or a different kind of college sport or moving on to a professional career. So definitely going to see a lot of play like it's your last game. Definitely a lot of that here tonight.
Junior midfielder, number 35, Will Carolyn.
I think something else that's really important for these two schools in particular is in Kansas, it's not technically a school-funded sport for lacrosse. But
neither
both of these,
Missouri.
Yeah, not in Missouri either. So both these teams acknowledge the sport and are very supportive of it within the school system, and as is Rockhurst, and those are three of the Final Four teams. So I think as the game continues to grow and as more kind of schools acknowledge it, you'll see the youth programs develop even further with kind of that influx of talent, seeing that this is now like a varsity high school sport like you have at Pembroke and Shawnee Mission East.
All right. We'll go to break for the national anthem. LAKC fans, our wait is finally over. The two best teams in the league, each team only having one loss on their regular season record. Teams that played 2 weeks ago and was a one-goal game as the Shawnee Mission East Lancers won 11-10. So you know after these games on Thursday, these teams might have watched a little bit of game film on Friday getting ready for this game, maybe Saturday morning. What do you think?
Well, last game, Shawnee Mission East was down by 3 or 4 with 3 or 4 with 4 minutes left, and freshman Cade Eldridge sparked the comeback. He's that first-team All-Metro freshman for Shawnee Mission East. I think he had 2 or 3 goals in the last 4 minutes to kind of propel East to the win. So I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what changes Pembroke makes regarding him. Obviously, the lefty. Really good outside shooter, but also has a nice hitch step that can kind of get inside. But close games are hard to win twice in the season. That's a proven fact, I guess you could say. But
well, and you know it's a lot about sense of comfort and how intense you feel. So you know Pembroke's going to be playing on edge, knowing that they lost last time they matched up against these guys. Let's get this thing going, man. I've just been thinking about this all weekend.
for sure.
Teams are lined up. Referees will be going over rules. They usually line these two teams up approximately about 5 yards away from each other to help explain to the players the 5-yard rule when it comes to body checking. Goalies cross, players shaking hands, showing sportsmanship. Here we go, LAKC fans. We are about to take off here in our finals mashup. Shawnee Mission East Lancers, Pembroke Hill Raiders. Got 35 facing off for Pembroke. That is Will Carolyn. And for Shawnee Mission East,
Hank Breckenridge, who had a great night against Blue Valley last week. And he's the leader in ground balls in the LAKC, has over 115, I think.
definitely helps when you win a lot of clamps at the face-off.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, you can hear those Lancer fans stomping their feet as he wins the face-off. Coming down, fast break deflected off a Pembroke Hill defender. Ball is sailing up in the air. It's still loose. Bounces off a Pembroke D-pole. Ball's back on the ground, picked up by Pembroke, running through players as he dishes it to his goalie.
And there's Quinn Brandmeyer with that first ground ball, and that's a good setting the tone for Pembroke, getting that fast break shut down and getting possession of this ball.
The D-pole gets trail checked by number 32 as the Lancers regain possession on their defensive side of the field. Number 23, the goalie, is bringing the ball upfield, passes it to his right. Number 34, the pole with it. Goes across the field towards box side. Bounce and caught by number 32. Passes up to the midfielder, number 25. As he's walking it down the field, slow jog touches the box. Pulls the ball back out. Passes it to number 2, top center of the field above the restraining box. Number 2 passes it to the left wing. Number 5, as the ball is getting ready to be passed back to X. Back to number 3, the All-American Griffin Freeze.
I'll be interested to see if they start attacking from up top with Milton and Cameron Ream, or if they start by initiating from X with Griffin. Last night, or 2 nights ago, Thursday.
Brandmeier, Griffin Fries matchup. Pass to the wing, 26 open shot, and wide left.
So it looks like they're going to start from X with Griffin.
I'll tell you this, just in my opinion, you talk about how aggressive a defender Brandmeier is, and you might want to possibly think about matching him up with Brash because of how physical of a midfielder he is. As number 25 takes a shot from the right wing, it goes wide to the right.
Right now, it looks like they have Quinn Brandmeier on number 5, Charles Berger, and they have Nate Barwin on Griffin Freeze right now.
You know, Barwin did a good job on that Rockhurst. Bounce
Great
shot
save by
save.
Will Andrews.
Great save, or was it the sweatpants? The sweatpants can definitely help.
That was a great save. I can speak from experience. He's great at bounce shots.
As the ball's down with number 1. Shot and goal. Henry Hogan, senior captain for the Pembroke Hill Raiders. The scoreboard has now been touched. 10 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first quarter as the Raiders take the lead 1-0.
You still saw a good offensive opportunity for Shawnee Mission East there. Milton Brash had a good shot, but Will Andrew just got down there quicker.
And what did we talk about last Thursday? Pembroke Hill transition offense. Back at the face-off. The Lancers won the last one. He wins the clamp. He pops it back out behind and picks it up as the Lancers win their second straight face-off. Passes back to the top center. Ball's now on the left wing. For you all back home watching, I'll be announcing ball position relative to the goalie's point of view. Sorry, you all. It's my second time broadcasting this game. I'm used to player position of view. 26 has the ball, passes it to top center to number 2. Passing back low left wing. Here goes a dodge attempt. Rolls to top side. Shooting left hand and save.
Another big save, and that was against Matt McGannon, who's the LAKC leader in goals.
Pembroke bringing the ball back to the side. Decent attempt by the attackman. Trying to check that ball loose.
So here's the matchup. Jack Staker on Joseph Moore. Both of them are first team All-Metro.
Stoppage and play. Well, just in the first few seconds of that possession, I'll tell you one thing. I did not see the Lancers press out and play as aggressive as we saw on Thursday.
Oh, we got a flag down.
Offsides on Shawnee Mission. 32nd man up for Pembroke.
Well, this will be the first time we see Pembroke Hill's extra man offense, and both you and I being defensive players and me being a defensive coach now, we're very impressed with Shawnee Mission East man down unit and how much ground these 5 defensive players cover. Loose ball.
Turnover. That's a big confidence booster for the Shawnee Mission East defense.
Well, and they did this a lot last Thursday against Blue Valley. Mishandled ball, still loose, picked up by the goalie. Break there for the Raiders. Great clear to center field. Number 3 is going to transition the ball towards the offensive side. Touches the restraining box and pulls the ball back out. Very, very tall up, tall left.
Penalties released, and now we're going to be even.
Just a quick 30-second penalty. It wasn't, after that turnover there, you pretty much knew that the penalty time was going to be used up. Ball's now top right with the sophomore, number 45. Ball's back top center, now at the left wing.
I'm going to look for initiation from X right here from Jack Staker.
Staker's got the ball. Dodging from X, passes the ball to the wing. 45 looks, rips, shot, and score by the sophomore.
Peter Burdett, top right.
Honorable mention.
That was a great shot.
Great look, great feed from Staker as well. And patience by number 45, Peter Burdett, to go ahead, get a few steps in, then take your swing.
When you're guarding a guy like Staker, especially if you played him before, the whole defense is so stuck in, like kind of watching him to see what he's going to do just because he's so explosive. So it kind of sucks the defense in, and that's how Peter got open to shoot that ball.
Yeah, the backside defender has to make sure to be the 2 slide in that scenario, so he has to sink in case Staker gets by his man, and because of that, he skipped the pass up to the next guy, and he had to come from being in the middle of the formation back out to the perimeter. Not enough time for him to get out there and get on the player's hands.
Early, we've seen a big advantage for Shawnee Mission East on the face-off game. Although it hasn't paid off, all those extra possessions will help them for sure throughout the game.
Lancers have the ball now, down by 2. Ball's at the right wing position with Freeze as he passes it back to X. From X to the left wing, low around GLE. Number 22 passes number 26 at top left. Lancers are moving the ball around the perimeter. They're in an open set. They're looking for their matchup. Very mature right now, taking time. A lot of lacrosse to play. No need to speed up your offense right now. 2 goals can be easily made up for.
Milton's taking his guy up top.
The Colgate
Swim
football
dodge.
commit goes back to his right. He draws the double. He dishes it off, looking for the next pass. Freeze fakes it, dishes it to the wing, and a mishandled pass, but brought back into under control. Number 2 sweeping towards his right, passes the ball to number 26. 26 analyzing the field, pulls it back out, passing to number 22 down on the goal line extended.
This is something that Shawnee Mission East does where they just keep dodging over and over again, and it tires out of defense real quick.
Skip pass and shot. Looks like it went high, but backed up by the veteran D-pull, Nathan Barwin. Junior defender and honorable mention there with the heads-up play. Clear goes to number 34.
Nice
Body
ride.
defense by the long stick midi. Lancers force a turnover at the midfield. The ball now rolls to the offensive side over on the left sideline at the bottom of your screen. And
Staker
Pembroke Hill
comes up
picks
with
it
it.
up. Great ground ball and a great swim move.
dodge.
22 going towards the goal, feeds it across. Shot and goal by number 1.
Henry Hogan, another goal already, but what a play by Jack Staker to get that ground ball and hit the swim dodge over his guy. But I'm more impressed with the vision, looking for that one more pass, even though he's coming in down towards the goal.
Yeah, he could have forced that shot right-handed, but hey, your senior, the veteran, did a great job falling in a great position on the backside, got on for a look, and that's a very tall, lanky kid. That's a target that's very easy to hit.
For sure. Also, great job just staying in that position, kind of following your slide upfield to get that good angle for a shot.
We have 6 minutes and 17 seconds left here in the first quarter as the Raiders have a 3-goal lead over the Lancers. Momentum all Raiders right now.
We saw something similar to this last week, though.
Yes, Blue Valley started out 3-2 or 4-2, and then about almost to this point in the first quarter, the Lancers went on a 7-0 goal lead. As we get a fast break opportunity for the Raiders. Pass, shot, goal!
Another goal for Henry Hogan.
Is that a hat trick?
That's a hat trick already.
Yes, that is already.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it is.
The senior is definitely making an impact in his last high school game.
Fast break goals.
Very similar to the last play. He's the, you come down, a defender's going to slide to you, and you have a 4-on-3 advantage. So you're thinking 2 more passes, and you're going to find that guy at the end of the string there, and that twice has now been Henry Hogan. Heads up play. Young guys out there realize that you don't have the ball. You can still be a threat. Keep moving.
And Peter Burda again with great patience, just like on his goal. He waited that extra second to make sure the slide went over before he threw it to Henry Hogan.
Lancers win this face-off. I believe they're 3 of 4. Lancers pulling it back out. Well, the last time they had a possession, they did do a good job possessing the ball and getting a few dodges off. They just could not finish and execute to get the ball into the net. A few subs coming in for the Lancers now in the midfield.
I would go right back to Milton Brosh. He got the slide on the first time he dodged and the second time.
And just from looking up here, it looks like he physically can dominate this matchup, even though he does have a pull on him.
Cameron Ream, another senior.
Number 2 dodging, comes to his right. He keeps going down the alley. Slide is drawn, bounces it to Frieza X. X is rolling around, finds number 5 on the wing.
Flag
And
down.
we're going to get a flag down. Definitely a holding or a
Hold.
slash.
Looks like a hold.
Yeah, he spun him around there, and as you can see, he couldn't get loose. He wasn't. He was using the shaft of his stick to hold his arms down. So definitely a on-ball hold there by Pembroke Hill. Now this will be a little bit scary for the Raiders' man-down defense. Lancers got some shooters, and now they have a numbers advantage.
We didn't get to see Shawnee Mission East man up too much last week, but Number 1 and number 2, Milton Brosh and Cameron Ream are the two big shooters on this team.
And you know who's probably going to set it up? It's going to be Griffin Freeze, because he does a really good job feeding the pass to these guys, getting assists. There he is with the ball on the right wing, passes it back up to Milton. Now it's with Reamer. Crank and shot and goal.
Number 2, Cameron Ream, the senior.
Well, you saw the ball was starting at the top right of the formation. That deep hole has to honor Milton Brash out there. So then what you do, you just dish it off one more pass to Reamer, who is sitting right in between the two zones, stepped in and shot.
I like
Great
the
finish.
confidence, too, from shooting that far out.
Great overhand technique shot. Hey, I love guys that shoot the ball underhand as well, but I got to be honest, coaching young players, you definitely want to get a great overhand shot in your repertoire of your packages that you have as an offensive player. Well, the Lancers finally respond. They're back within 3. We got 4 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first quarter. This is the 5th face-off, so that will be 4 of 5 for the Lancers on face-offs, winning the last 2. Ball is back low towards the goal line extended. Taking their time. Looks like they're going to get some subs on. If you can't tell, they're holding on to the ball. At the top left of the screen where it cuts off, that's you're seeing players run in and out of the box. These teams, they got a lot of depth. I'm not sure if they have middies that play just defense as short stick defenders or if they got guys that just want to rotate in offense, but you got plenty of lacrosse to play, and both teams got a lot of skilled midfielders that they're going to rotate in and out of this game. Ball's back at X. Being defended by number 4, Pembroke Hill. Quick roll, shot just left of the net. Try to squeak that one in. Restart has to be farther away from the net, actually all the way outside the restraint box. You see number 22 pull back out, and the ref will go ahead and restart this game now, or get this game started. 22 going back towards X, dishes it off. Pass up to the right wing. Now we're at top right. Top center with number 2.
Cameron Ream going again.
Ream's been taking a few dodges from this position. Draws the slide, a missed body check. Shot
Nice
and
goal.
Squeezes that in, 5-hole.
Matt McGannon. And he's the KCY or the LAKC leader in goals on the season. But again, that was initiated from a dodge up top by Cameron Ream, who now has a goal and an assist.
Well, I bet you what William Andrews was hoping was that the stretch of the sweatpants was going to keep the ball from going between his legs, but that time it just squealed in there.
Yeah, just slipped in. And now you're kind of seeing the ability when Shawnee Mission East is winning all these face-offs for them to go on a run just because they have possession after possession.
They've only lost 1 face-off so far. And here goes another one.
Hank Breckenridge taking over this game early.
Swim move. Splits the defenders. Nice fancy moves by Griffin Freeze. Ball's at the top right corner of the restraining box, is being passed down low to 22, back right side of the field. Lancers on a 2-0 goal run now. Looking upfield, rolls back, shot, and outside of the cage, picked up by the goaltender.
And here comes the 11-man ride.
Let's see how Pembroke decides to play against this.
Here's Quinn Brandmeier with the ball.
Does a hitch move first, then dishes it downfield to an open midfielder. You're just going to have to get your middies running a lot harder to beat this 11-man ride. You're going to have 3 attackmen down low. You're going to have the 3 middies at the top, but you're going to see a deep hole also come up, so it's going to look like 4 zones going across the field. And then the 3 attackmen down low. Great clear by Pembroke Hill. And now they step in their offense. Dodged by number 12. Shot right-handed, deflected off a Lancers defender.
Big hit.
Ball's at midfield, still is a scrum. Picked up by the long stick, number 17.
And timeout, Shawnee Mission East.
That was Henry Mahaffey with the ground ball, junior. Timeout, Shawnee Mission. Okay. We have 2 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. Your Pembroke Hill Raiders are up to the Shawnee Mission East Lancers 4-2.
So we saw an early run by Pembroke, but now Shawnee Mission East is going on a little bit of a run of their own.
Yeah, and you just need a few goals from those guys, and then you're going to see that momentum and the energy and confidence come back to that sideline. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw that, Jack, but when I looked over right at pregame, you had the Lancers were doing partner passing, the Raiders were doing their jog lap, and the Lancers started walking towards midfield as the Raiders were jogging across, and you saw a lot of woos and hoops and hollers back at each other. But so far, actually, a pretty clean game. We've only seen one penalty so far, or two penalties so far, and you're definitely not seeing the Lancers defense press out on the perimeter like they did on Thursday. They're respecting the stick skills of these Raiders a lot more.
They also have a very quick attack line. You see that both Peter Berta and Jack Staker, 45 and 22, aren't the biggest guys, but that quickness is just so hard to guard, especially when you're outside the box. It's just
and they can run forever as well. These guys are all in great shape at this point of the season. So if you really do want to play them out that far, you better be used to running a lot as well. Lancers start with the ball coming out of the timeout. Milton Brosh, top right, to Cameron Reamer, top center, to number 26.
William Benjamin.
Ball's now back with Freeze at X. Pass to the right wing, load by GLE. Top right. And we're going to see Brash go here with a dodge. Shortsick on Shortsick, runs through the guy with a hitch move, dishes it off to Reamer. Reamer shot and save. Good save by Andrews. Sliding to body, shot and wide left.
Oh, and they call it.
Lancers ball. The Raiders thought that they got position. You see their players start running upfield for a transition opportunity. But the referee decides that that was going to be Lancers ball. Ball's back at X with number 22. Defended by number 9. Decides to make a dodge, rolls back to his left, drops the ball.
Into the crease.
Picked up by Andrews. Passed over to number 4.
And he has great stick skills.
He's running through checks, but drops the ball.
Nice lift check.
We got a transition opportunity for the Lancers. Touches the box, but the pole decides to pull it out. Reamer touches box, and we're going to slow things down as they get the LSM off the field. Or will he stay? Now they get the substitute. Ball's back at X with number 5. Lancers just holding on to it until they get their personnel set up. Dodging around X, draws the double feed to the ring. Shot and saved. Right off the glove of the shaft of his stick. Andrews with another save. Reamer had a good time and room opportunity, but great save. You're seeing very talented players go one-on-one against each other. I just love seeing these matchups. Caught high. Players coming in. Body check. Raiders still have the ball, but a stick check right when he threw it, and the Lancers will get possession.
And this is what's so hard against playing Shawnee Mission East. There's constant pressure no matter where you are on the field. If you have the ball, there's going to be a guy on you.
Well, they do run that 10-man ride very well. 14 seconds left. Here goes Freeze with a dodge and a swim move. Draws the double. Splits him. A check. Still going through. Left-hand shot. Goes off the defender. Great effort. And it was a great job by the defense, too. You had to know the time was winding down. The number 1 Shawnee Mission East player has the ball, and you had to know that he was going to cage. And you saw lots of Pembroke Hill defenders sliding to stop Freeze. But Freeze fought through it really hard and got a shot off still.
2 seconds left in the first quarter.
Slash, 1 minute.
Not surprised with that call. I did see that stick contact the helmet of Griffin Freeze there. We're going to go ahead and say that's the end of the first half. What was an early start by the Pembroke Hill Raiders getting a 3-goal lead or a 4-goal lead. The Lancers now been on a 2-0 run, and at the end of the first quarter, the score is Pembroke Hill Raiders 4, Shawnee Mission East Lancers 2. We'll be right back at the beginning of the second quarter. start the beginning of the second quarter here. The Lancers will start with the ball. Reason being is that Pembroke Hill committed a slashing penalty that was still being served by the time expired in the first quarter, and because the Lancers had possession, they will start with the ball in the second quarter. As Ream with a shot from top center.
2 saves by Will Andrews.
He's playing great today. As he just tosses this one downfield, pressure by the 10-man ride of the Lancers. Ball still loose, picked up by Ream. Touches box, scans the field and pulls the ball out. Now you got the football committer Colgate with the ball top center. Ball's now down left wing. Looking, passes the ball back up top, shot and goal. There's that play you talked about on Thursday. You had a pick there on the top left corner of the man down zone, and it gave Milton Brosh an opportunity to get that shot.
They got to be careful with that. It kind of looked like a moving screen. It might not got called that time, but if they continue to do that throughout the game.
Definitely close, but feet were not set, so I agree with you on that, Jack. Timing meaning so much in the game of lacrosse. Setting a pick too early or too late can make a huge difference in the play. We have a Pembroke ball. We're over on the goalie's left wing side with number 22.
Jack Staker.
Hogan with the ball, bringing the ball back up to top center. Passes it off to the sophomore attackman, number 45, Peter Burdett. As these guys are just passing and sweeping, now they're clearing out. We're going to get a dodge here.
Jack Rams, this is who we were talking about earlier, and you have a senior-on-senior midfield matchup right here.
Decides to pass the ball off instead of dodge. Peter Burdett with the ball on the right wing, passes it back to, as the ex-attackman's going around, Henry with another shot opportunity, feeds it to the crease, but the defense was there.
Great 2-slide.
Ball picked back up by the Raiders. They're pulling it out. Now you're starting to see some of that aggressive defensive play from the Lancers as number 2 rolls back to his left. Face dodge, splits 2 defenders, but stick check forces the ball out.
I think he's playing without his free hand.
They're going to call that award, playing without the free hand, as the Lancers take the ball. Now they're transitioning upfield. Number 9 bringing the ball across midfield. Dishes it to Freeze, the All-American. 22's got the ball. He's going to force it.
Oh,
low-angled shot and save. Long pull with the ball, rolls, still has it, then loses it. Once again, the 10-man ride of the Lancers forcing issues for the Raiders. 35 bringing the ball in, and they get the possession with a touch in the restraining box.
That was a big ground ball by the deep hole, number 4, Quinn Brandmeyer, to get that possession from Pembroke.
Hey, great patience and passing by Pembroke Hill on that clear there. Ball's passed over to the left wing. Senior Henry Hogan passes it back to X.
Staker's going to initiate.
Staker still with the ball, falls and throws it to Peter Burdett, picks the ball back up, rolls away.
Timeout, Pembroke Hill.
As Pembroke Hill calls a timeout, we will see what the Raiders set up here.
You're starting to see Shawnee Mission East defense get a little bit more aggressive on these plays.
Immediately after the game tonight, we'll be presenting the MVP awards and the championship.
Yeah, that's the first time in this game I see them play farther outside of the restraining box. But it's definitely coming out of the 10-man ride transition. Pembroke a few times has executed great clears against it, but at the same time, the Lancers are giving their offense extra opportunities by turning the ball over by executing a great 10-man ride.
And you're starting to see that Shawnee Mission East is a little bit more physical of a team. You saw a big hit when they were trying to clear the ball. Pembroke was trying to clear the ball. So we're kind of going to continue to see just the physicality of Shawnee Mission East.
And for Pembroke, it seems like a lot of their offense is being initiated by Jack Staker or Jack Ramza and being finished by the senior Henry Hogan. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Henry Hogan on the backside looking for a feed from one of the Jacks of Pembroke Hill. For Shawnee Mission East, been seeing a lot of dodges initiated by Brash or midfielder
Cameron Ream, number 2.
Cameron Ream, yes. And you're seeing a good amount of Freeze, but Freeze is doing a great job facilitating and feeding as well, which is what we saw again on Thursday.
I also like Matt McGann, number 22. He's had a couple roll dodges and got on crease.
So far, a very evenly matched up game. Both teams possessing the ball, getting opportunities, and only a 2-goal difference here with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Back to Peter Burdett on the right wing, passing it up top to Chris Fredette as he's dodging down the right alley, keeps going, being hacked by number 6, passes it off to Henry Hogan, number 1. Great stick check to lose the ball, but he picks it back up.
It looks like the weather's starting to come in a little bit.
Great
Nice
wrap check, but they're going to
Oh.
call it a slash. It was a little high towards the neck area, but I would say probably just below the collarbone from my view. But
As it-
definitely easier for us to see than them down there on the field.
As a deep hole, I hate to see that. Getting the good takeaway checking, but they call it a slash.
Yeah, if you hit stick first, it's a legal check. It's whether if you don't hit stick and you hit the body first, it would be a slash. But the ref was on the backside angle, not as easy to see that he contacted the stick first. But that's what you get when you play aggressive defense. Sometimes you're going to get calls going that way. But not going to be too much of a problem here, as we've seen Lancers man-down defense very good. Look at how far they're playing out. They get back in quick, too, after playing far out. I have a weather update for everyone watching back home. Right now, if we do experience any lightning protocol, the strikes need to be within 10 miles of the game field here at Durwood Stadium, and the delays will be 30 minutes for every strike of lightning that we see. Not an issue right now, but just informing you in case it becomes an issue later as we start to get a little bit more overcast across the UMKC campus. Great defense there. Had him in the L hold. A feed
Nice
back
look.
to X. Shot and missed the top corner. Backed up by Henry Hogan. He'll start with the ball back left. Passing to the left wing with Ramza.
Ramza,
Great
nice
roll by
roll.
Ramza. But the deep hole had his stick underneath on his glove for a great lift. Shot and rip, but saved by number 23, Robbie Veglin, the other all-Metro goalie. Clears it up to number 6 at midfield, bringing it up in his right hand, crossing midfield into the offensive territory. Midi subbed in for Shawnee Mission East. Down to number 5, bringing it back to X. 2-goal difference here between these two final teams. Lancers finally got their middies back on the field. Brash with the ball top left. Passes to 26 on the left wing from the goalie position of view. Ball's back at X with 22. Back to number 5 on the right wing with Freeze. Pass back up to Cameron Ream. Back to Brash.
Here comes the dodge. Oh,
Just runs over the defender and loses the ball. Picked up. Great ground ball there. Well, you said he's going to be a football player next year, right?
oh yeah.
We saw a little bit of that right there, which is why they like to dodge with him. Freeze with the ball. Back to Cameron Ream. Back to Brash. Brash passes it off to number 26 as he gets it back down by X. Looks to the field, passes it back to his left. We get in a dodge, but great defense by number 9, holding him. A few stick checks and passes it back off. Pembroke Deeple's looking very stout today. A dodge by Cameron Ream down the left alley, left-handed, looks back up. Great recover by the defense, doesn't draw a slide. Another slide, shot and goal.
Cameron Ream, another one. And looks like last week, or on Thursday, we had Milton Brosh take over the game early. And looks like Cameron Ream's trying to do the same. That's coming from that senior leadership, having 2 senior midfielders. But that was a great play because he had the initial dodge, but afterward he pulled this guy out and re-dodged, and that's how he got open on the crease.
Yeah. Slide was there a little bit late. Not the best angle on the slide and gave Ream an opportunity to get a shot on goal. Instead of forcing that shot early before the dodge got there, great patience by Cameron to continue to step in front of the goal, giving him more surface area to attack.
So we had 4 early by Pembroke, and now Shawnee Mission East has had 3 in a row.
Yeah, we have a 3-0 run here by the Lancers, looking a little bit reminiscent of our Thursday night matchup between the Lancers and the Tigers. Ball is picked, still on the ground, picked up, nope, still on the ground, bouncing around. Got a scrum here. And stoppage in play. Gonna be Lancers ball. Nope, my apologies,
Pembroke
Raiders ball.
Oh.
Referee changes the call. Lancers ball.
Possession, Shawnee Mission East. Worst foul.
That makes sense.
It was getting a little rough in there. It must have been a push from behind, either with or without possession. Definitely need a coach. You cannot make any body contact unless you can see the front of the numbers. Got to be able to read the name on the front of the jersey. Just under 5 minutes here in the first half of play. Great job by the Lancers getting back in this. We're once down 4-0, now back in it 4-3.
The refs are discussing it up top.
Might get another change in call here. A double reversal possibly.
Nope, it's going to stay Lancer ball.
East will retain possession.
Easy now. Young kids out here, lots of emotions. Ball's back to X with number 22.
Matt McGannon.
Back to Freeze. Passed over to Cameron Ream.
Interesting move by Pembroke, not playing a deep hole on Cameron Ream, even though he's had 3 goals already.
Yeah, you got number 5, Nathan Barwin, still matched up with Freeze. And number 4 is matched up on number 22, Matthew McGannon.
Another one for Cameron Ream, shot from the outside, bounce shot.
You know, we saw one like that in the youth game earlier that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
From that same spot, actually, but great job by Cameron Ream being resilient, being mentally disciplined, helping his team get back in this. Now we have a tie game here. Raiders 4, Lancers 4 with 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in this half of play.
So now we have 2 seniors, one from each team with a hat trick. Cameron Ream on Shawnee Mission East and Henry Hogan on Pembroke. They're playing like it's their last game, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that Cameron Ream's doing. He's getting these Shawnee Mission parents back in this game. I'm starting to feel the vibration of the stadium below us. As another face-off won by the Lancers. Won every single face-off besides one so far here this evening.
I think that's going to be a big halftime adjustment for Pembroke. Maybe putting 2 poles on the wings or something just to try and combat how dominant Shawnee Mission East has been.
And a few of these Pembroke goals, as you see a turnover here by the Lancers, have been off transition. And we talked a lot about Thursday how Pembroke wants to get this ball in transition, wants to get into their fast break offense. You need to get this ball at the faceoff in order to just very long pass downfield. Great clear. Deflected. Picked up by the pole. Shot.
Oh.
And wide right. Losing the head.
By number 17.
Losing the stick.
10.5
Yeah, we got that.
Another clear.
Starting to find the holes in this 10-man clear. They attacked the goal
I think
early.
he was going to shoot.
Well, that was something we talked about on Thursday. You saw Blue Valley get a few opportunities to shot and save. We saw Blue Valley get a few opportunities to try and attack the goal early in this 10-man ride, and very aggressive by Pembroke Hill to take about a half-field long shot there. Could have went in.
Even if it doesn't go in, it kind of gets the defense on their heels knowing that they see that the goal is open and they'll shoot if they want to.
And one thing you need to do is, I would do that a few more times, try to convince the Lancers to get out of this 10-man ride. Shot and save.
Ramsey with the shot, Robbie Veglin with the save.
Cleared to number 1. Great handle. And a push
flat.
from behind. Pretty obvious call. Not super physical, but you got to be disciplined. You didn't see the front. You didn't see the Lancers name across the jersey. You can't contact him. It's as simple as that.
And Griffin has a short stick on him. Let's see if they try and expose that matchup. Yep.
Now number 5 will switch back on him. Smart play by Pembroke Hill's defense here. Well, you know, when you have aggressive defenses there, as you almost get a feed, it falls right into the goalie's stick.
That's a great pass by Griffin.
Well, hey, I know we've been spending a little bit of time on it, but I definitely would like to elaborate some more, explain this to people at home that don't know as much about the game. When you play aggressive like that and you do the 10-man ride, it's like a defense bringing the safeties up in the box in football. You're going to want to throw a deep one, even if you throw it over the head of your player, just to tell these guys to back off a little bit and give you guys a little bit more breathing room to bring this ball up in the clear.
So Shawnee Mission East can take their first lead of the night, and they've been very successful in man up so far.
They got great time and room shooters. Last time it was Cameron Ream that shot top center in between these two zones here in this box and one defense. Pulls the corner to Brosh. Back at X. There's the cutters coming through, collapsing the corner. Defense stays very disciplined. Skip and shot.
Off the pipe.
Good find. Almost finished and execute with the shot. And a good effort there to keep the ball in bounds. We're going to be even now as the penalty's released. Player running back on the field. Shot and goal by Freeze.
With his first shot. Low to low rip.
Low to low rip. Bottom right corner. It's a right-handed goalie, correct?
It is a right-handed goalie.
So that's off stick side to the bottom right. Reason why that's so important is the goalie's got to sweep his stick 3/4 of the length all the way across to make that save. Great placement by Freeze.
And now with Shawnee Mission East's first lead, you can hear the parents going crazy below us.
Making it sound a little bit like thunder. They might be setting off some premature warnings here. First lead tonight for the Lancers with 1 minute and 59 seconds left in the second quarter. Let's see if Pembroke can win their second face-off this evening.
Reminiscent of Thursday again. I mean, Shawnee Mission East just keeps rattling off goal after goal.
They start off a little bit slow. They get comfortable, and once this team gets comfortable, they're almost unstoppable. As Pembroke still fighting for this face-off, ball still loose. Picked up by the deep hole. Nathan Barwin with a good ground ball. Passes back to the goalie. To the deep hole. Back. This is what you got to do. And you got a late hit.
No flag, and it's going to be Shawnee Mission East ball because that ball went out of bounds.
Ball up top with Milton Brosh. Pass back to Cameron Ream.
And we've seen none of this Pembroke offense really in this quarter.
Great defense back X. Rolls inside and
Matt
goal.
McGannon.
Well, William Andrews thought he could step out the goal, but the problem was that player had a good topside angle, and he just dumped it right over his shoulder.
That was a great roll dodge by Matt McGannon.
As a defender, in that scenario, it's tough. You want to get on their hands to stop their shot, but at the same time, you also need to get on their hips and turn them before they cross that goal line extended. That way they don't even have a shot. These guys are talented enough to squeeze in low-angle shots. And as a defender and as a goalie, you need to tell your defender, turn him, before he reaches his goal line extended there, before he can even get a shot angle. Because with even 1 step or 2 steps above goal line extended, he can fit that in. Another face-off here. Won by the Lancers again. And timeout called.
Timeout Lancers.
Not a bad timeout call. There's 1 minute and 5 seconds left, so you'll get to set something up before halftime here, and you definitely want to get one more goal before this clock expires.
This Pembroke team definitely has it in them to go on a run, but right now all you need to do is stop this Shawnee Mission East train, because if they go down by 3, that's a lot of goals to come back from.
Well, when we talk about how emotional the Lancers play, the bigger the lead they play with, the better they get. And as we saw last Thursday against the Blue Valley Tigers, I believe it was a 4-0 lead or a 3-0 lead, and they started off early and hot, just like Pembroke did here. But then after that, there was a span between the end of the first quarter all the way to the end of the third quarter where we hardly saw Blue Valley possess the ball.
Look at that student section for Shawnee Mission East.
It is packed. There's a lot of people out here. Great attendance. The game's definitely growing.
Shout out to the 86 people watching right now.
Oh, yeah? It's awesome for y'all to tune in. I know there's a great basketball game tonight, but all us lacrosse fans would want you to stay here and watch this one. We did start an hour earlier than usual to try to get this game through the possible weather coming in.
Shawnee Mission East will have the ball. 1:05 remain in the first half.
So Shawnee Mission East is going to try and increase their lead a little bit.
Look for Cameron Ream to initiate this offense again. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
They still have a short stick on them.
And I think you're going to have it that way because you just can't afford to give Milton Brosh a short stick on short stick matchup. He's just going to run through. He already runs through a deep hole check.
Here comes Griffin Freeze.
Rolling towards his left around the crease. Great defense by number 5, keeping him at bay. Yeah, the honorable mention deep hole, Nathan Barwin's doing a decent job holding off the All-American right now. Hard dodge by number 22. Squeaks in
Another
and shoots
roll
and
dodge.
scores.
Matt McGannon.
That was one of the names you brought up in our pregame. He's doing a good job. We were talking about, Matthew McGann, he's one of the better players on this team, but, being second team All-Metro. But we did mention earlier, it's going to be the guys that are going to help out the All-Americans. It's going to help out the first team All-Metro players. That's going to make a difference in this game.
That's
Still 34 seconds left to go, and the Lancers have been doing a great job at the face-off.
That's such a huge advantage, getting all those extra possessions.
If you're Pembroke, going into the end of this half here, there's a few things I'd emphasize. You need to fix your clears in your transition, find a way to beat this 10-man ride. And, yeah, you're going to have to figure out how to maintain these possessions and get a little more TOP, time possession, to give your defense a break because your defense has been playing a lot in the end of the second quarter.
Here's a chance to maybe get a fast break goal here. 18 seconds left.
See if they're still going to go with the 10-man ride. Go for an early shot here. Brandmeier with the ball. Gets it.
Nice pass to Peter Burdett.
Another great pass. Shot and save. Picked back up. 3 seconds left. Big hit. Maybe the hands were a little too high there.
And look, Pembroke's going to have possession, so they'll start the next half with the ball.
I didn't necessarily see which team had possession there at the end, but it was a good aggressive check. It was within the realm. It was in the front. I just believe the hands were in that area of being considered too high.
Yeah. Especially on a big hit like that, his legs flew out from underneath him, so it's kind of hard.
It's a rule that I wish had a little bit more clarity. The rule says with the intent of bringing the offensive player or player down to the ground. And sometimes as a defender, I think you and I can both relate, we're just trying to get the ball out the stick. We're not really necessarily trying to put him in the ground. We just want to get the ball.
So Pembroke's just going to hold the ball. That's halftime. 2-minute non-releasable penalty. That's huge for Pembroke Hill going into halftime.
So at the end of our first half of play, Shawnee Mission East Lancers will have a 3-goal lead over the Pembroke Hill Raiders, 7-4. This is Daniel Rogenhofer here with Jack Mahoney. Stay tuned. We'll be right back outside at our table talking a little bit about what we've seen this game. Here we are with our halftime show. Jack Mahoney, Daniel Rogenhofer. Right now, the Lancers battle back, being down 4-0 with a halftime score of now 7-4. Pembroke Hill started off really quick. Their senior, Henry Hogan, with a hat trick. Both the Jacks did a good job finding him on the backside, but then Cameron Ream, midfielder of Shawnee Mission East, came in, put the team on his back, got a hat trick of his own to get this team back in the game and giving them the lead.
I think what we're seeing right now that sparks Shawnee Mission East run is a lot of one-on-one dodges, and they're just winning those matchups. Matt McGannon has a couple of great dodges, and he's utilized the roll dodge and had 2 goals off of that. So I think the one-on-one dodges right now are going all Shawnee Mission East's way, and that's why they're having this run.
Yeah, so far we've seen Pembroke deciding who are they going to put their long stick midfielder on. Are we going to put them on Milton Brosh, or are we going to put them on Cameron Ream? And every single time they've decided to switch who they're going to put their long stick mini on, Shawnee Mission East sees the matchup, and they're going to constantly find the short stick on short stick matchup.
Something else that's really been prevalent that's kind of helped Shawnee Mission East out a lot is Hank Breckenridge's domination at the face-off X.
Yeah, he's won every single one besides one. Shawnee Mission East dominated time possession in the second quarter, gave him a lot of opportunities to get shots on goal. And you're talking about that guy.
Breckenridge.
Yeah. Also Matthew McGannon, number 22, doing a great job playing low on goal line extended, rolling around these defenders and getting a few goals himself to extend this lead.
I'm just looking forward to kind of seeing what happens in the next half, what adjustments Pembroke makes just with Cameron Ream and Matt McGannon.
Well, another thing they're going to have to figure out to do is how to handle this 10-man ride. Earlier in the game, we both almost jumped out of our seats. We saw a shot from midfield because in that 10-man ride, Shawnee Mission East goalie will hop out of the net, lock off one of the attackmen, and leave the net wide open. So we might see some more long shots here in the third quarter.
And all of Pembroke's deep holes are really good with the ball, but this 10-man ride kind of takes away that advantage just because there's so much pressure on them.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing Quinn Brandmeier do a lot of the ball handling during the clear work. The times they do succeed, they pass the ball a lot. Shawnee Mission East is forcing them to pass the ball a lot down low on the defensive half. But once they do that, the middle finally opens up. The midfielders for Pembroke Hill are going to need to do a lot of hustling in the middle of the field because it's going to be 3 of them versus 4 defenders of Shawnee Mission East.
Thankfully, Pembroke Hill has a lot of senior depth on the midfield lines, and those seniors are going to have to come in and play really well. This is their last game, so
you're going to have to leave it all on the field.
Leave it all on the field.
You might be cramping up like that kid we saw in the youth game, but I mean, it's what you're going to have to do against this 10-man ride. Another thing that I've noticed, I do want to say shout out to Nathan Barwin, the junior D-pole. He's doing a pretty solid job against Freeze. He's keeping his stick on his gloves every time Freeze wants to push the ball on the wing or back at X. He's doing a good job staying on his hips. Some of the things I'd see if I'm a defensive coach, I'm coaching up these Pembroke Hill D-poles is, when you have McGannon rolling low on GLE, you got to match your hips with his hips, not necessarily from left to right, but how tall you're standing. Sometimes as these guys are coming into the cage, the D-poles are standing straight up and down. There's no strength in the base of their stance, and that's allowing McGannon to roll and get that shot. Sit down in your chair, get your hands on his hips, turn him below GLE, take him away from the cage.
This is what we kind of see with Shawnee Mission East that makes them such a good team. I mean, before the game we were talking about Griffin and Milton Brosh, and neither of them have had too much say in this game. It's been Matt McGannon and Cameron Ream, so that just shows how much firepower Shawnee Mission East has as a team.
Well, those are our notes and observations from the first half. We'll return after a quick break. We're going to talk about what we're looking forward to seeing adjustment-wise here in the second half. Welcome back, LAKC fans, as we're overviewing our crowd here. Tons of people showed up for this game. Definitely showing the growth of the sport here in the Kansas City area. Jack here with me, D-Pole from Blue Valley West, Dan Rogenhofer, assistant coach over at Lee's Summit, breaking down the game for you. What are you looking forward to see adjustment-wise in this next half of play?
Well, first things first, Pembroke Hill is starting with a 2-minute non-releasable penalty. So that means they're going to get the ball kind of over and over again, scoring if they keep scoring. So I think that's huge to get some momentum back for Pembroke.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity to get right back into this game, cut into that lead. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to find a good shot because you know these Shawnee Mission East D-poles cover a lot of ground when they're a man down.
Also, I think Pembroke needs to change something at the face-off X. They've been getting dominated so far, and something needs to change, whether that be 2 D-poles on the wings or switching different guys in there.
Yeah. Shawnee Mission East has only lost 1 face-off so far this game. It's definitely been putting the ball in their hand. Well, looks like we got about 50 seconds here till game time. Another thing I'm looking forward to seeing is what Pembroke's going to do for their clear game. Are you going to attack the net a little bit earlier, knowing the goalie's outside of the cage, doing the 10-man ride? Once you can start holding on to the ball a little bit more and transition it better, I can see Pembroke Hill getting back into this game.
I want to see Jack Ramses try and take over this game a little more. He's one of the hardest guys to guard in this league, and I haven't seen him do too much dodging from up top yet, but that comes with them not having too much possession, but I really want to see Jack Ramses start dodging a little bit more.
We shall see as we got one more half of play in the LAKC semifinals. The Shawnee Mission East Lancers are winning right now against the Pembroke Hill Raiders 7-4. Welcome back, LAKC fans. Thank you for tuning in here. We are in Durwood Stadium of University of Missouri, Kansas City, as we start beginning of the third quarter. As Jack mentioned earlier in our halftime show, what is the big opportunity for the Raiders here is they're going to be man up for 2 minutes, 6-on-5, after the high hit penalty against the Shawnee Mission East Lancers. Little deflection there. Like we said, this man-down defense for the Lancers does a great job moving in and out, expanding, contracting. And there's a forced error. Ball's flipping over. And a push from behind penalty on Nathan Barwin. You know, you just told, just maintain your position, stay strong in your stance. When that ball rolls up to the midfield, lift your guy's stick or just push the ball back over. But to go over and push him from behind is a easy call for the official there.
You got to double this ball if you're Pembroke. Try and get the ball back.
Yeah, right now Pembroke Hill has 6 defenders on the field, with Shawnee Mission East only having 5 offensive players. And right now, Shawnee Mission just killing some clock right now as Pembroke Hill is failing to double the ball.
Here they come.
Well, here they come, but Cameron Reams faster. Outrunning 2 players at once. Great job by the Lancers. Number 2, Cameron Ream, killing this penalty. Here comes another double team. Runs through a player. Now you got to Milton Brash. A hard person to double team. One of the strongest players in the league. Not only that, one of the toughest, a football commit for Colgate.
The power cradle.
As you can see, players trying to check, but he's got a pretty thick body. It's not going to be easy to wrap around his torso area to get your stick on his stick.
This is a great penalty kill by East and just nullifies all the momentum Pembroke could have had there.
Big swing attempt there. And another big swing. Another pass. Shot and goal.
And there's Milton Brosh's first goal.
Low to high, top cheddar.
Low to high to the day we die, baby. Griffin Freeze, great one more pass there. He could have had a shot.
Oh, just a bummer for the Raiders. You had them right where you wanted them. And now it went exactly the opposite way you would want it to. Stay in there, though. Only 4 goals. You know, in this sport, the fastest game on 2 feet, the league can always change quickly.
And looks like we're going to have a deep hole facing off for Pembroke, so that's kind of one of the adjustments they made at halftime.
You're going to have 2 long sticks in the midfield here. One on the top side of your screen towards the right, one in the middle doing the face-off, and just 1 short stick midi down at the bottom of your screen here for Pembroke Hill. We'll see if this deep hole can help slow down the fast break transition off the face-off here at the X in the middle of the field. 9 minutes, 55 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball still loose. Stoppage and play.
Shawnee Machines is going to get possession of the ball. But that worked a little bit better that time.
Yeah, they definitely held him up, and I thought he had an opportunity to pick the ball up. I almost was about to say Pembroke Hill ball. Luckily, I held my tongue there. Good job by the coach of Pembroke Hill, finding a solution for a problem on his team. And you know what parents got to understand is 26 gets a step
Nice
on his
dodge.
man. Shot and save by the all-Metro goalie.
That's a great dodge by William Benjamin, another senior.
And great save by William Andrews. You know, I was saying before, as a coach, there's only so much you can control. You're just a manager. And, you know, a lot of people ask me, how do I decide playing time for players when I'm great defense? Tries the shell check. Freeze! And
what
goal!
a dodge by Griffin Freeze. That's what makes him an All-American.
He dangled it low. He brought it back up high, used the twinkle toes around the crease, and got the ball in.
Oh, what a goal.
Well, now you're starting to see some of the 2 top goal scorers of Shawnee Mission East finally get their name up on the board. Brash with a nice goal, low to high, both very close to the crease, twinkle toeing around it. That time, the All-American Brian Freeze.
Griffin Freeze.
Griffin Freeze, my apologies.
Timeout Pembroke, and Shawnee Mission East is hyped up.
Well, as I was saying before, as a coach, you can only manage the situations. You know, you have to talk to parents about how you decide playing times for these student athletes. And a lot of what I tell parents when I discuss about playing time is that, you know, I don't know, you know, with high school kids, which kid I'm going to get on any given day. Sometimes the kid's going to come out playing hot. Sometimes they may just be having a bad day and they're not winning their matchup. And then you start looking for other solutions on your roster, on your bench, try to switch some things up. And as you saw there, the coach made an adjustment at the face-off to put a long stick on the face-off X. It held him up. But before that timeout call, I saw that they went back to their short stick.
I know this looks like a huge deficit for Pembroke Hill, but honestly, with the athletes and the stick skills that Pembroke Hill has, this game is far from over. There's a lot of time left. It's only 2 minutes into the second half. If I'm Pembroke's coach, I'm saying we're still in this game. This is the last game of the year. You got to put everything out there.
I'm looking at my senior captains right now, Jack Ramza and Henry Hogan. This is your last game. You got to find a way to bring the best out of your teammates. You got to find something to say to get these guys motivated around you. Because in order to come back, you're going to need 110% effort to help get this ball on offense from transition against this 10-man ride. Score is 9-4 here at Durwood Stadium at UMKC with 9 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter. Number 35 for Pembroke Hill will be taking this face-off. That's Will Carolyn. Not going with a long stick this time, but you do see 2 long sticks on the wings here playing towards their defensive side. Look for the Pembroke Hill, or look for the Shawnee Mission East face-off guy to plunge this ball behind him after the clamp. Great camera angle for the face-off. Does exactly as predicted. Great ground ball by 32, the long stick midi. And here we go, transition opportunity for Shawnee Mission East. Gets the ball back to number 5. Aggressive defense by Pembroke. They're doubling the ball. Now 34 recovers. Well, if you're going to pull the ball out and substitute, you're essentially going man down. So very smart lacrosse IQ by the Raiders to try to push for a double team briefly until the Lancers got their players back on the field from the substitution box.
And if you're Pembroke right now, you got to look at the weakest players on Shawnee Mission East offense. I know there isn't many of them, but when those guys get the ball, you got to press out and try and get that ball back.
And another adjustment that I've seen here is you got two long sticks matched up on the two top middies for the Lancers. Number 21 is matched up on Milton Brosh, and number 34 is matched up on Cameron Ream. And it looks like number 19, the short stick midfielder, is locking off number 22.
Matt McGannon.
And that was one of the guys that we said came in and did a good job extending this lead for the Lancers. So the coach for Pembroke is digging into his box of tools. He's pulling out everything he can to try to help his team get back, put him in a manageable situation. Freeze back down low, bodied up by number 5. A hitch and a shot wide of the cage.
Something you see when you're locking off of guys, there's a lot more open space in the middle. It leaves space for Dodgers to go just because there's less people there.
And I've been saying this guy's name a bit. Nathan Barwin, junior defense and captain from Pembroke Hill. Shot and goal.
Charles Berger just burned the all-Metro player, Quinn Brandmeier.
That matchup that I've been loving to watch so far, Nathan Barwin versus Freeze. That time he played his body. His back, Freeze's back was facing the goal, and he really couldn't locate where the goal was. And because Nathan Barwin, instead of going for the overhead check for a trail, trying to be fancy, just stayed on his hips, stayed low in his stance, and forced a shot that did not have a very high percentage of hitting the goal.
East is just continuing their run, 10 in a row.
10 in a row.
Yeah.
Last game on Thursday was 7. Definitely coming out and improving. Easy clamp, plunges it forward. And a great ground ball pickup by the long stick, number 17, Henry Mahaffey. There's that chance to possibly get a double opportunity as you saw players running in and out of the substitute box of the top center of the field. Freeze has the ball. Seems to be the guy that will always take the ball and hold on to it for the Lancers as they get their personnel set up.
Here's the freshman.
A few good hitches there. It's always good to mix up what you do. You just can't let the defense, telegraph your passes. You got to mix them up with a few hitches, where you pass the ball or not, and most importantly, while he's moving his feet. Back to the freshman again. The ex-attackman is going to cut back up to the crease. Isolation dodge, short stick on deep hole matchup. We'll see how this goes.
There's a lefty, so.
And he's got the ball in his left hand. Feed up top, shot and deflected. Deflected by number 4, Quinn Brandmeier. Pass back to number 5.
Charles Berger.
Back to 29. Matched up on number 9. Body gets a step. Great job by the backside defender to be in the passing lane. Intercepts it. Transition opportunity for Pembroke. Let's see if they can get back in it here. One pass to Henry. Shot and saved by the goalie. Number 23, Robbie Vegler with a great save. Henry in a position that he's been accustomed to early in the game, but this time just couldn't come up with the goal.
Great chase by Shawnee Mission East long poles as well. They got possession of the ball.
Now the long stick will cross midfield, meaning one of the midfielders will have to stay back. No one's playing him. Time and room shot. It goes wide left. Well, in that time, you're thinking, we need a slide, but the shot wasn't near the cage, so lucky break there for the Raiders. I almost had to sit there and say, if you're number 24, Harrison Gooley, you're almost a little bit out of your element not seeing anybody come at you there. You usually don't see that a lot when you have two talented teams like this. Milton Brash has the ball. He's matched up on a long stick. Here he goes. Swim move right past the defender. Shot and goal.
Woo. Milton Brash taking over.
No goal. Is that what they just said?
No goal. Ward?
What's the call?
I think it was a Ward.
Looks like a Ward.
Oh, as you just hear there, our announcer just next to us goes, well, I think it was a Ward. I'm not sure what I saw, but the call is the call. We still got plenty of lacrosse to play, and as your coach, you tell your players, next play, stay focused on the task at hand. Do you think certain defenders are a little bit intimidated in bodying up Milton Brosh a bit, especially once he gets that velocity to go downhill? Give him 3 or 4 steps. He's at full speed. When the kid, what is he, about 215?
I'll be honest, playing defense against him and watching him take a full-speed run at you, it filled my heart with fear. Nice dodge. Better slide. Fast break opportunity for East.
As the depot gets a touch, brings the ball back to Mill. Great handle by Griffin Freeze. That's the guy that holds on to the ball as they get everything set. And what you want to know why? Because you can trust him.
They're getting a little confident out here.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely a team that plays well with confidence. As you saw, we're on a 10-goal run here, a 10-goal run here. And this is a team that just plays better as they get the lead.
I know Shawnee Mission East's offense has been playing phenomenal, but I think the bigger piece of this win is going to be Shawnee Mission East's defense. Pembroke has one of the best offenses in the league, but they just can't get anything going against this defense.
Both the Jacks, Stacker and Ramza, are struggling to draw slides from their dodges. And the times that they have been able to draw slides, they've been able to find Henry Hogan on the backside, as we saw earlier with their last shot attempt. But like I said, yes, give some defense, give some credit to those deep holes for Shawnee Mission East. Zane Martin and Joseph Moore doing a great job with their matchups. Even the short sticks are doing a good job with their matchups. Here we go, 10-man ride for Shawnee Mission East as Pembroke's going to attempt to bring this ball upfield. And a deflection.
Great pressure by Matt McGannon.
You know, here's the answer to being this clear. And it's not what a player wants to hear when they're tired and they've been putting in a lot of effort in the game. But you have to constantly move your feet. Everyone needs to be running. That's how you beat a 10-man ride. It's going to exhaust you more, but it's so worth it once you get it down there because then you do get that quick goal opportunity. Pembroke with a possession now. It's been a while. Let's see what they do with the ball here. The sophomore with a shot and save. Peter Burnett with the shot attempt. Vaglin with the save. Shawnee Mission getting the ball back. Didn't take him too long.
Nice ride.
Nice ride. Freeze seemed to be in the right spot at the right time. Now we got a flag down. Number 3 getting a little emotional. A little Star Wars action there with his stick. Pick and roll.
Moving screen. It's all right. They're going to be man up. Looks like the call was on Jack Staker for a late hit.
Yeah, you know, the person setting the pick is considered a defenseless player. You can't run through him. You have to run around him. Ideally, in that scenario, you want that pick identified before it's being set. As a defender, you know when two offensive players come near each other, it's a pick and roll scenario. Up, Connor Ream, shot and goal.
Cameron Ream, nice goal.
You're going to put number 1 and number 2 right next to each other. You had Milton Brosh. He pulled his defender out, giving Connor Ream the goal angle and the time to shoot the ball. Cameron Ream. My apologies here with the names, folks. My second day here calling for this team. That's why I got Jack Mahoney here. He's played with a few of these kids. He's got great knowledge of a lot of these kids and what their strong suits are.
And presenting championship trophy.
Wow. 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, you got two of your best shooters there, both midfielders, the top right corner and the center. And Brosh is making the great lacrosse decision every time. Get the ball to Ream. Ream will have the room, has a great shot, and they're just executing a great man-up offense. Ground ball picked up by number 12. Stoppage in play. With 2 minutes here and 26 seconds, the Lancers have been advancing their lead in this quarter as they're leading the Pembroke Hill Raiders 11-4. Timeout was taken by Pembroke Hill there.
I think it was Shawnee Mission East.
I'm looking at the...
Oh, Pembroke.
And they'll have no more timeouts either, if the screen graphic that I'm looking at is correct. Not a bad day to be out here for lacrosse. We're about in the 80s, a little bit humid. We had some rain earlier this morning. We got a little bit of an overcast, so the sun's behind the clouds, keeping everybody nice and cool. Great day to come out and watch lacrosse here at Durwood Stadium of University of Missouri, Kansas City. Also conveniently located right next to the plaza. Great place to go celebrate if you win this championship game here.
Oh, yeah. I think we're just seeing Pembroke being overpowered by all the weapons on Shawnee Mission East. Every single one of their offensive players can score at any time.
Well, and I also want to say that I do believe that the Lancers have scored on every man-up opportunity that they've had. And that's a big swing here when you look at the box score.
So far, it's just been a complete team game for Shawnee Mission East. Their goalies played really well. Their D-poles have played really well. Face-off is incredible.
Yes.
And their middies have played really well on offense
for
as well.
For every adjustment that Pembroke Hill has done, 2 long sticks, one on the face-off X, one on the wing, or putting a short stick at the face-off X with a long stick on either wing, Shawnee Mission East has responded well to those scenarios. You definitely got to credit number 12. Lancers start with the ball here.
Nice pass.
Looking for their 4th.
Oh!
Behind the back, BTB, Griffin Freeze.
Griffin Freeze with the BTB, making it look easy out here.
The Lancers are hungry for their 4th championship. Just a reminder, this was the original LAKC annual championship matchup.
What a goal.
Back in 2012, correct?
2000. Yeah, I think so.
2000. You know, it was great listening to the Rockhurst kid that came on earlier, Andrew Dakin, talking about how there's only 4 teams back then when he graduated, and now you got 14 teams here in the league. But I'll tell you one thing, this league has been primarily owned by one team, and that's Shawnee Mission East. So far looking like they might get their 4th championship in the LAKC history here. Another face-off win by number 12, holding on to the ball, taking it back to taking it back to X. Aggressive play, a lot of chasing here by the Raiders, trying to keep up with the ball. But great off-ball movement, great perimeter passing here by the Lancers, maintaining possession. It's been a 12-0 goal run here by the Lancers. Dominating time of possession. Haven't seen much of Pembroke Hill's offense. Been seeing a lot of their defense. And you're right. The Lancers have done a great job. You got contributors from Freeze and Brosh. Shot and miss. Bounce shot went over the top left side of the goal.
I think that's Will Moore.
Yep. McGannon contributing. But yeah, you've had all sorts of guys score goals today here for the Lancers. It's not just one-man show.
And there's McGannon
doing a great job low around goal line extended. Now you got looks like a short stick matched up on him. He might like that matchup.
He was getting locked off, but since there was a restart, he picked up the ball and wants to dodge.
Well, he better, because I believe they're going to go ahead and lock him off for the rest of the game. Good recovery by the defense there, and a smart decision to pull the ball out. There's the hitch. No one biting. Just a little hop. He gets back in the stance. Back number 5. Time room shot. Rip. Deflected off number 4. Quan Brandmeyer. Brandmeyer's taking a few shot deflections today. He's going to have some nice bruisers tomorrow. You know, they start out blue. They turn purple. Looks like a little galaxy.
Can't feel him during the game, though.
No, but you know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. He's open again.
Here he goes. McGannon with the dodge. Pulls it back out. Feed.
Yep.
Skip pass. Shot. Save.
Great save by Will Andrews.
And not as much space for number 5 to take that rip. Off-ball players weren't playing necessarily as much help defense. They were playing a little closer to their man assignment.
Oh, nice
ice pick check and a great ground ball pickup, but the ball's loose again. Body flies on the ground. Pembroke comes up. Great ground ball by the sophomore Peter Burdett. He's going to go towards the goal.
Flag
Finds
down.
the feed. Flag down. And play will stop now that no team has possession.
That was a great ice pick check.
We've seen a few nice tricks today. Very talented players. Seen some BTBs, a few good slap checks, an ice pick check.
3 seconds remaining in the 3rd
So it looks like they're going to hold possession here to get possession at the start of the fourth quarter, especially the way their face-offs been playing.
Regardless of the scoreboard, still a very entertaining game.
There's just so much talent on both these teams.
Once again, that's our third quarter in a row. We'll be starting without a face. Shawnee Mission East parents going wild in the stands here. The Lancers have a 12-4 lead. And we'll be right back. We're going to go to a quick break. Welcome back, LAKC fans. Daniel Rogenhofer, Jack Mahoney, coming back to you as we start the fourth quarter here at Durwood Stadium, University of Missouri, Kansas City. Shawnee Mission East Lancers are in a great position to win their fourth championship here over the Pembroke Hill Raiders with a 12-4 lead. As Jack's mentioned before, just a lot of firepower from the Shawnee Mission East side, and Pembroke's just kind of struggling to keep up here.
Hopefully they can get one here. Watch 23. Jack Ramza. I know he's looking for a goal here.
Got a man-up opportunity. 6-on-5. And as you can see, the Lancers are playing very outside. They're not sinking in too far on the backside unless cutters are coming from backside of the field. But this is one of the best looks I've seen.
Charlie Thorne just stings a corner.
Top left. Now that's just extremely well executed. Perimeter passes, no turnovers. Eventually you'll find your guy. Just keep moving the ball around the perimeter.
And Charlie Thorne just stung that corner there.
Yeah, that was a very impressive shot. He's a junior. He plays attack and midfielder. And he's one of the many non-seniors that will be coming back to what's going to look like to be a stacked Pembroke Hill team for next year.
Definitely, they're looking to come back next year even stronger than this year, which is scary.
Still got 11 minutes and 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Great to see Pembroke Hill break the silence. Score is now 12-5 Lancers. Another face-off win for the Lancers. Shot and can't tell. Yeah, over the goal there. He went low to high, just a little too high. Had a great one-on-one opportunity there with the goalkeeper. Back to Freeze on the right wing. Passes the ball back up to Cameron Ream. Back to Milton Brosh. Back to 26.
William Benjamin.
Back up to number 1 to Cameron Ream. Here comes the dodge. There's the matchup. There's the double. The dish. Another dish. A skip pass. Great help defense clogging the passing lane. Good job sliding by the Pembroke defenders.
Great ride. Oh.
And we got a flag down. Well, you could appreciate the rotation by the defenders there. A few great opportunities for the Lancers to get a shot, but quickly closed up here.
That was like a little bit of a frustration play from Quinn Brandmeier.
Yeah, that's bound to happen when you're talking about high school student athletes, but the refs are doing a great job keeping this game under control. Ball's going to start
I think we're just
right
waiting for the
wing
call.
with Milton Brosh. Still waiting on a call. It's going to be against Pembroke. They're already out there with their man-down unit.
I didn't see exactly what the call is, but it's locked in.
Illegal body check, 1 minute, non-releasable.
An illegal body check as Cameron Reams shoots from top center and it's saved.
By Willie Andrews.
Non-releasable on the penalty as well, meaning that that player is not the one allowed to release on the field. 10-man ride, frustrating turnover. Lancers with a goal opportunity, shot and goal by number
Berger.
5, Charles Boger.
And that all came from Matt McGannon, who had a hard ride on the goalie.
The junior attackman. This 10-man ride for the Lancers is frustrating the Raiders as they constantly turn the ball over and over again in transition.
And even though East scored, they're still going to be man up because of the non-releasable penalty on number 4, Quinn Brandmeier.
If there's a time to put in the dagger, now is the time. Back to a long stick on the face-off.
Johns is facing off.
Long stick on the face-off, long stick on the wing for Pembroke. He wins the clamp, he puts it behind
Oh,
from the side on the body check, but they're going to say it was from behind. Could have been from more than 5 yards with the lead up as well. A call that I definitely can understand that was called there.
especially with just the physicality of this game. It's kind of ramping up a little bit as both teams are seeing 10 minutes left in the game. Better to call it than not call it, just to keep the game as clean as possible.
Yeah, the referees know you got a handful, more than a handful of kids out here playing their last high school lacrosse game, knowing, hey, we got to make some calls, keep this game under control, make sure the emotions stay in check. Pembroke with the ball. Pick and roll opportunity here at the top right of the screen. Decides not to go with the pick. Gets a step on his defender. Draws the slide. Still holding on to the ball. Comes across. Still has the ball.
Here's Ramza.
Great defense. Shot.
I think they call a flag for a hold on 32.
That's what you need to do if you're Pembroke. You got to get to one of the jacks. They need to dodge hard to the cage, draw a slide, and look for the person on the backside, which early in the game was senior Henry Hogan,
30-second hold, 30
who's going to start with the ball. We have a 30-second holding penalty.
East is 2 men down. Pembroke is 1.
So we are now 5 on 4. We are 5 on 4.
You don't see that very often.
Oh, if you coach youth lacrosse enough,
Oh,
you're bound to see it.
oh yeah.
You know, these teams are really talented, but, you know, I've unfortunately, as a coach, been in that scenario, had to make the kids run a little bit the next practice because of, you know, out-of-control stick checks, putting the defense in a bad position, playing man down.
And that's a missed opportunity. Not a great pass over the middle. Couldn't really handle it.
Second turnover being in a man-up opportunity. I believe one of the penalties has been released.
Looks like Pembroke's has been released.
So do you have a 2-man up here? No, you're just 1 man up, I believe. Great job by the midfielder, Milton, to catch the ball, run through the checks, which is effortless for a guy like him.
And they're starting to press out a little more.
Well, yeah, if you're Pembroke, you need to get the ball back. So it's not now or never. You got to play some aggressive defense. You're down multiple goals here. Down by 8 goals here with 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter of our LAKC finals game. You know, as number 5 dodges here, low angle shot and save. I'm going to go ahead and give some credit to the Shawnee Mission East Lancers coaching staff. Both matchups here in the semifinals and finals, the Lancers previously played a team and either lost or won by 1 goal. And as you can see, they made the adjustments and have improved tremendously since previous games against their opponents. beating Blue Valley by multiple goals, and now leading against Pembroke here by multiple goals.
And here comes Milton Brosh.
Short stick on short stick matchup, 22 being locked off by 19 again. That's going to put a lot of this field open here. It's going to be a little more of a 5-on-5 game now that 22 is bringing his defender all the way to the top right corner of the field. There's the slide, stops the dodge. There's the dish to Cameron Ream. Aggressive defense and double. Now you got Brosh with the opportunity. Shot and save.
Great save.
Went low to high. That's kind of been his look. I go ahead, if I'm Milton, go ahead and look back down. We got a slash call on Griffin Freeze. An aggressive ride. Aggressive play there by Griffin. Just a little too aggressive and gets the call. Great composure by William Andrews to hold on to the ball. Eventually the ref bailed him out with a call.
I think he's talking a little, Griffin's talking a little trash down there. He was a second ago.
Well, like I said, before this game, there was a little bit of trash talk from both teams going back and forth at it. A little bit of history between these two teams being the first teams to represent in the LAKC finals matchup in what was a very close game about 2 weeks ago during the regular season, the LAKC season. Pembroke with the possession. Going to see the man-down unit here for the Lancers. Done a tremendous job. They first 2 turnovers playing down 5 against 6.
Nice
A
move
look,
by Henry Hogan.
the senior, a stop.
Better save by Robbie Veglin.
And a great play by number 32 to get that ball out away from the crease. You know that from hockey. We call that cleaning out the trash. Pembroke has possession. Here's a feed to number 3. Shot and goal.
Great shot.
Pembroke will not go down without a fight.
That's their second goal of the quarter.
That's Jack Ramza,
Jack
junior,
Ramza.
attackman, and first team All-Metro.
Jack Ramza passed it to Max Arnold, who scored.
Max Arnold's a sophomore. Good feeling to be a 16-year-old out there putting a bunch of 17, 18-year-olds in to get a goal in the back of the net. Exactly 7 minutes left here as the Lancers lead the Raiders 13-6. Nice battle at the faceoff X. Still a loose ball. And another win by the Lancers. He's still dodging. A look and a save. And we're probably going to get a push from behind call. Hank Breckenridge won the face-off, ran the ball downfield, continued to dodge, got a step on his defender, and the Pembroke defender clearly pushed him from behind there. And it wasn't like he turned his back to him. He just simply beat him in retaliation. Not the best choice there by the Pembroke Hill defender.
It's good to see Hank Breckenridge run off, though. He's had a fantastic night at facing off for Shawnee Mission East.
It's good to see him run off, but, you know, he's been playing really tough. He's been taking a lot of checks. And I definitely think that he'll be gimping around a little bit tomorrow possibly, but definitely well-earned. You have to appreciate, if you're a teammate, what he's put himself through to do his job and duty for this team.
Before the game, I thought an advantage Pembroke would have was that they were going to play man up a lot more just because of how physical Shawnee Mission East is. But so far, that's not been the case.
Yeah.
It's been pretty even. And
way more stick checks being thrown in the semifinal game from Shawnee Mission East than this game. A little more respect to how talented they are. Shot and goal.
Charles Berger again.
Between him and McGannon, they're doing a great job supporting Freeze and
This is just a strong
Ream.
attack line all around.
You got a couple middies that can score. You got all 3 attackmen that can score. Score is now 14-6.
Giannis facing for Pembroke. Breckenridge for East.
Pembroke will again try at the face-off X with a long stick. I know you're down. I know you need to be aggressive and get the ball back, but anytime you give all those great offensive players from Shawnee Mission East an opportunity to play 6-on-5, most likely they're going to score.
Another win for Hank.
And that time using his wing play to help him get the ground ball, not doing it himself. Good job and great decision by the faceoff guy. Freeze with the opportunity,
Great
dishes
look.
it,
Charles
fakes
Berger
low.
again.
Berger fakes low, shoots high. Great transition goal by the Lancers. You got 6 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the fourth quarter of our finals game. Lancers are up 15-6.
Something you see that's kind of uncommon among face-off guys is usually they don't have the greatest stick skills. But Hank Breckenridge, whenever he picks up that ball, he keeps possession running down.
Well, he's definitely not what we refer to as a fogo. He can do more than just be a face-off guy only.
For sure.
Another clamp win using wing play 2 times in a row. Yeah, I noticed at the face-off X, because they've been man down, the wings for the Pembroke Hill Raiders are playing on their side of the face-off X, leaving the wings open for Shawnee Mission East. And if you're a face-off guy and you look at both your wings not being contested, you just got to win a clamp and just plunge it back to them, and it's an easy ground ball.
And Shawnee Mission needs to still man up.
He looks, but he decides to pull it back out, getting the ball back to Connor Ream. Skip pass, shot, wide left by Freeze. Coming back in from the back left. We've heard his number be called multiple times. Number 5's done a great job today as he keeps dodging. Shot and goal.
What a
with
game
flags.
for Charles Berger.
The junior attackman's having a come-out show today.
And that just shows you. I mean, we didn't even bring him up in our pregame, but he's just having a fantastic game. Again, what depth on Shawnee Mission East's offense.
You know, when a guy like Berger comes to play and puts the ball in the back of the net, it helps take pressure off Griffin Freeze and Connor Ream. So, Milton Brash and Connor Ream. Cameron Ream. I apologize, Cameron. I keep calling you Connor today.
That's another penalty, so Pembroke's going to be down 2 men. And then I think they're just getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough position to be in. You were just there. You're only 1 goal away 2 weeks ago, May 2nd, when you guys played each other last time. The game's not going your way. So you're seeing some emotions come out. The coach needs to get these players and tell them, hey, look, if you're going to go out there and play like that, I'm going to pull you off the field.
5 minutes left.
Be 6-on-4. And he's just going to hold on to the ball, kill some penalty time. You have a 10-goal lead.
I think they're going to try and get their seniors a couple more to end the night.
Yeah, that'd be a good time to do that.
Cameron Ream.
And a goal. That's the 3rd time from that spot in that scenario he scored. 3rd or 4th.
Too easy. He's doing a little shrug. Too easy.
17-6. Shawnee Mission East leading over Pembroke Hill. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Not only did the Lancers show up to play, but their fans definitely showed up in attendance. Pembroke winning their 2nd face-off of the day.
Nice ground ball by Jack Staker. Usually an attackman, but he's just so quick.
Showing off his speed. Shot and goal.
Good.
Fake the pass.
That's just a fantastic goal by Jack Staker. He's running right back up to try and do it again.
Kid's got some wheels. Bringing this game within 10. 4 minutes, 14 seconds left. Lancers are up against the Raiders by 10 goals, 17-7 here at Durwood Stadium, University of Missouri, Kansas City. Well, I'll tell you one other thing that we're lucky about here, Jack. The weather has stayed cleared. We've had overcast all day. We even saw some lightning way off in the distance, but we're going to get this game in tonight.
Thank goodness.
You know, not only that, you started the game an hour early, so if anybody wants to go out Saturday night, they'll have some time to do so.
I love the sound of that.
Lancers ball again. Stoppage and play.
Not sure what the commotion is.
Possession, Pembroke.
We just heard from up here in the booth, the possession will stick with the Pembroke Hill Raiders. You know, if I'm playing or coaching for Pembroke Hill right now, it's all about for respect and love of the game. The game hasn't gone your way, but there's still a lot you can do. Try to get this game as close as possible so that the scoreboard doesn't look as bad as it is right now.
Shot by Jack Staker.
Staker with another shot. Couldn't follow through all the way. Good check by the Shawnee Mission East defender. Ball's back at X. Pass back 23. You got to, yeah, that's an easy call. Push for the possession.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I've talked to a lot of coaches about here in this league is regardless of how hard that push is, whether the guy has the ball or he's chasing the ground, you just got to make that call every time. When you're a player running towards the ball or maintaining the ball, having that balance push over towards the balls of your feet instead of your heels puts you in a tough position as an offensive player and gives away your advantage.
Yeah, easy call. Easy call for the refs there.
Yeah, as a defender, you have to respect the fact that he has the ball there. With his back turned to the goal, he's not a threat of any sort. You just have to be patient and wait for him to turn around and face you. Good printer passes, a roll here. Skips the ball up top. Another turnover for the extra man offense. Looks like we'll see a double team. Wisely passed back to the goalie. Good handle by the long stick bringing across the field.
Nice D.
Good slide. Quinn recognizing a long pole had the ball. Main aggressive slide. Another flag down. It's going to be a slash against Pembroke. I'll tell you this. It looked like that player got slashed in the twigs and berries. But
I appreciate Shawnee Mission East keeping their cool here. I know it can be frustrating when it feels like you're just getting slapped around, but you're 3 minutes away from a LAKC championship right here.
Yeah, you definitely want to finish strong and with composure, show some sportsmanship, not just be a respectable team with your skills, but also with your attitude and behavior.
Slash, 1 minute.
And Griffin doing a little yawn down there.
You know, you've been playing a lot of man up. You're not being pressured a lot because you've been playing 6-on-5, and yeah, that's easy for a skilled guy like you. You see the three offensive players that are all next to each other here for Shawnee Mission. It's made this extra man offense so dominant. Top left, you got Cameron Ream. At the top right, you got Milton Brosh. And on the right wing, you got Griffin.
Berger.
Charles Berger?
Right here, number 5.
Yeah, but and then down there at the right wing, Griffin Freeze. Griffin Freeze. Fakes the behind the back, almost pulls the defender on it. That's the trio right there. That's the big three.
Yeah.
And when you have them all next to each other, it's just really difficult as a defense to honor which one and which one you're going to give a little more space, helping the other.
Now it's even.
Good matchup here. Cameron Ream versus Quinn Brandmeier.
Nice play by Will Andrews, the goalie. Oh,
He telegraphed
Face
the
dodge.
pass. That's a way to beat a 10-man ride.
Timeout, Pembroke with 1:37 remaining.
I think that's Pembroke's final timeout there.
Yep. Yeah, the goalie telegraphed the pass and made a great interception. We'll be right back. .30 left here to play. Just want to take the time to say thank you for everyone who tuned in, friends and family. We appreciate you watching. And, you know, Jack, how did you like this experience coming up here and commentating for a few highly competitive lacrosse games?
Although I wish I was playing, it's a great experience. And I think we can all agree that the best team in our league won, even though they're the number 2 seed. But I think top to bottom, Shawnee Mission East just had so much firepower that it's going to be hard for anyone to stop them. And their defense played fantastic tonight. And I think senior leadership comes in, and they had a huge group of seniors. And I think what a story for them to win and beat Blue Valley, who they lost to earlier in the season.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, this is our second time doing this. We really don't have much broadcasting experience but prior to this event, and we just want to thank everyone at home, just being patient, you know, with me and the names and the lineups and everything. But I've had a ton of fun. I'd rather be coaching one of these teams, but at the same time, I had the free time knowing that my team wasn't in the semifinals, and I've had a whole bunch of fun talking about the game, meeting a few of the players in the league, talking about how the LAKC league has been growing tremendously. 50 seconds left. And just a heads up, if you're still watching, right after this game concludes, we'll be outside at the table before we send it down to half field for our awards. And a last-second goal there for the Pembroke Hill Raiders.
Peter Burdett, nice goal.
The sophomore attackman, Peter Burdett.
He's had a good game, even though they're not winning, but he'll be a stud for the next couple of years for sure.
Oh, of course. You know, I've been very impressed with his composure and the way how he's been able to handle the ball against a great Shawnee Mission East defense. Scores now 17-8 with 40.7 seconds left here.
There's a Let's Go Lancers chant right below us right now.
Lots of baby blue around here in Durwood Stadium. As I was saying before, at the conclusion of this game, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right at the table. We're going to summarize what we saw in this game here as we get a flag here on Quinn Brandmeier.
Flags are down.
He's getting a little chippy here, but I'm seeing a Pembroke kid tell his teammate to head back to the bench.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I do too. From what I saw there in the penalty, his gloves weren't together. So when he came in on his shoulder, it was all shaft.
And that's also someone, Quinn Brandmeier, has had a couple penalties already, so.
Yeah, you know, I've been in a scenario like this before coaching girls basketball. If you got a player who's going to start playing with this much emotion and aggression, at this point in the game, you might as well just take him out.
And there's the three senior middies for Shawnee Mission East, embracing up by midfield. What a run they've had.
The Lancers will have another extra man offense opportunity, 6-on-5. The parents down below us making a lot of noise.
I think he just got ejected, I think. I'm not quite sure.
No, he's still sitting there in the box.
Under 30 seconds.
Well, now that he's close to our screen here, you can tell
Onto the field.
how Milton is definitely a football player. Look at that build. Like we said, hey, stay tuned. We'll go to a quick break.
10 seconds left.
We'll see you out at the table here, and then we'll actually send it down to half field for the trophy celebration. As Milton sends it into the air, we have our LAKC champion, the Shawnee Mission East Lancers, with a win over the Pembroke Hill Raiders, 17-8. Congratulations, Shawnee Mission East. You are champions.
What channel are you on?
Well, that's it. The LAKC seasons came to an end. We have a champion with their fourth championship. The Shawnee Mission East Lancers came into play today.
I think we can both agree that that was the best team of the league this year. The best team won, even though they had one loss. They beat Blue Valley, top to bottom. Just a great team performance tonight, only allowing 7 goals from a really powerful Pembroke offense and putting 17 up. Just an all-around great team win.
Just too many playmakers for the Lancers. Wasn't just the big three. Saw a few other guys get in there as well. And they just did it. They're shaking hands now. We'll be heading down to midfield for the trophy ceremony soon here. Well, hey, good luck next season.
2018 champions, Brian Freeze, president of the LAKC, will present the trophy to the champions. Our MVP of the 2018 LAKC Championship is Cameron Ream. Coach Garrett's going to get whacked.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have seen it here for the fourth time in LAKC history. The Shawnee Mission East Lancers are your champions with a score of 17-8 over the Pembroke Hill Raiders. Also, just announced, as you heard, number 6, Cameron Ream, is our MVP of this game with over I want to say over at least 5 goals. He is well deserving of it, and a very well deserving Shawnee Mission East team. We just want to say thank you to all of our viewers who have tuned in for this game, the KCYLL game earlier today, and the semifinal games back on Thursday. As the guys were saying during the broadcast, off-season is definitely important. We have a lot of great sponsors with the league that offer off-season conditioning. They offer camps. They even offer some scrimmage/games. Those are KC Heartland Lax Club, the Great Plains Lacrosse Officials Association, KC Blue Lions Lacrosse, and True KS, or True Lacrosse Kansas. LAKC also wishes a thank you to all of the LAKC officers, coaches, team reps, officials, parents, and players for all of the efforts. We would be nothing without you. So there would not be any lacrosse in Kansas City without you. So for everybody here at LAKC, we hope you have enjoyed the 2018 season. We hope to see you in 2019. Have a very great summer.